so join me for a Zen Swing exercise. This is a very therapeutic and rejuvenating exercise that's going to promote circulation, help reduce stress, and also very therapeutic for the hips and the spine and the shoulders. So you're going to stand about feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent. You're going to imagine you're swinging a golf club in both directions. So this is the general movement that's happening here. The movement initiates from the hips, okay? And so as you swing your arms to the left, the weight goes to the left. As you swing your arms to the right, the weight goes to the right. And you're picking up that opposite heel and pivoting. So there's a rotation happening. The shoulders are really, and the arms are just coming along for the ride. So movement initiates from the hips, arms coming along for the ride. We're going to start off, just relatively slow here. Slowing down your breath, ideally breathing in through the nose. Most important is you're creating this very even, rhythmic, rocking motion through the hips. So there's a rotation that's happening in the hip joint. Helps to stabilize and strengthen the whole pelvic girdle. This is great for the hips and for the low back. Also, keep your gaze in front of you. So we're not rotating the head and turning the head. We're just keeping it in front of you. You can stare straight ahead or you can look at the floor in front of you. And that's also going to be very therapeutic for the head and the neck as we get this rotation around the base of the skull. Now, inviting you here to increase the swing a little bit with a slightly more rotation here happening through the torso, arm swinging a little bit more. So you can practice this exercise daily. It's going to cultivate energy throughout the body. Again, very harmonizing and very simple to do anywhere. Ideally, getting your feet on the ground helps. And think of this one as a moving meditation that's going to help restore energy throughout the body. I've adapted this from my teacher, Paul Chek, who incorporates a lot of Tai Chi, Qigong-esque exercises to balance the working out, right? So this would be more of a working in exercise where we're actually generating energy instead of expending energy. Now I'm just gonna make it even bigger, really opening up those shoulders. That's what I also love about this one. If you really get the shoulders going, I'm gonna pick it up for the next 20, 30 seconds or so. I'm feeling that nice opening, taking in those deep breaths, noticing the sounds around you. Ideally, if you can do this in nature, that's wonderful. I'd say to get the benefits out of this exercise, doing this for at least 3 to 5 minutes, ideally around 10 to 20 minutes, and make it more of a standing meditation. But already here we've been going for a few minutes, noticing the shifts, noticing how your hips and spine feel, taking those deep breaths. And because this is just one continuous movement, it really allows us to get into a deeper meditative state. Focusing on the sensations of the body. Notice where you're trying. So I noticed for a little bit I was trying to generate the movement from my arms and say, okay, let's come back to the hips. Remember, the hips and the core is really at the center of this movement. It's where we're generating our power, that rotational force. Notice where you're holding on. Continuing to take in those deep breaths. When I do this at a slower pace, you can even try and do is inhale one direction, exhale the other direction. If you're a golfer, you may love this. You can even imagine hitting the ball off to the side, not needing to see where it goes. You're basically swinging it in both directions. And then slowing it down even more. Finding that fluidity in the hips. Taking another deep breath, coming to center, grounding in, bending those knees, taking another deep breath in and out. Noticing how you feel. Thank you for joining along today. Feel free to do this throughout the day. You can do this as a practice in the morning or evening. That's usually when it's most beneficial. Again, seeing if you can get your feet on the earth, and encourage you to explore and experiment with it. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you on the next one.